As of 2015, there were nearly 5 billion people that still read newspapers, and nearly 3 billion people that still read printed newspapers. So how can you tell what's fake news and real news? I'm Matt McNamara, and I'll have that story coming up next.
I'm Tessa Iglesias, and coming up next on WVU News, I'll tell you about a car-sharing company that allows you to rent vehicles with gas and insurance included.
I'm Connor Schlegel, and coming up, find out what some Americans have to say about the Trump administration after his first month in the Oval Office. Our Emmy Award-winning WVU News starts now.
Fake or real? How do you know if what you're reading or hearing is the truth? We went to the experts to find out. I'm CJ Harvey.
And I'm Brianna Parks. It's been 40 days filled with appointments, tweets, and executive orders. What do local residents think about President Trump's first month?
These stories and more on WVU News, an Emmy Award-winning newscast produced by television journalism students right here at West Virginia University.
After his first month in office, President Trump has signed over 20 executive orders and at least 4 bills into law.
But how do Americans feel about his job so far? Connor Schlegel joins us now with more. Connor?
Thanks, Brianna and CJ. According to whitehouse.gov, President Trump has jump-started job creation, is saving taxpayers money, and restoring public safety. However, after just 1 month in office, a Pew Research Center poll shows that only 39% of Americans approve of Trump's job performance. I spoke to local residents to hear their thoughts on the Trump administration in its first 5 weeks.
I'm here tonight as a determined American.
National Security Advisor Michael Flynn is gone, but it appears that the problems in the White House have just begun. WVU political science professor Patrick Hickey is an expert in American presidents and elections.
That's been a source of strength for him to some extent, to kind of speak directly to his supporters and kind of build their appreciation of him. But those who don't support him, that has been a weakness. You know, it seems like he's kind of ticked more people off quicker than most presidents do.
Despite concerns from Professor Hickey, many Republicans are pleased with the progress made by the Trump administration so far. Daniel Tickle, the president of Students for Trump at WVU, thinks President Trump is doing a good job.
You know, he's delivered on campaign promises. That's number 2. I mean, I don't think people are used to a politician, especially a presidential politician, that delivers on promises at least this quick.
But many Democrats have a different perception on how Trump is dealing with matters in the Oval Office.
I haven't been happy with the major appointments. I think Scott Pruitt to run the EPA, as someone who's been very against the EPA in the past, is a bad idea.
According to a new Pew Research Center poll, Trump scores negative marks in his handling of foreign policy, immigration, and the threat of terrorism. And that's not all. This poll also shows that around 60% of Americans view Trump as untrustworthy.
One fact that no one can deny, President Trump is a successful businessman. He's worth as much as $10 billion, which has many Americans hoping he can do the same for our economy.
Despite being in office for less than 2 months, Trump returned to the campaign trail in Florida, holding a rally for thousands of supporters for when he's up for re-election in 4 years. And one of the topics he covered, fake news. Brianna, back to you.
Thanks, Connor. Lately, it seems as if everyone is talking about fake news. Well, a BuzzFeed News analysis found that top election news stories generated more total engagement on Facebook than top election stories from 19 major outlets combined. Matt McNamara attended a fake news panel to see just how much of an impact fake news has on society.
Truth and Consequences, Fake News, Filter Bubbles, and Democracy was the title of a panel to explore these topics. Paige Lavender is a senior politics editor at the Huffington Post.
Fake news can be terrible for society because it's important that everybody makes informed decisions in their day-to-day lives.
Research shows that fake news headlines about the 2016 U.S. elections fooled Americans 75% of the time. And for Tanner Ballard, sophomore journalism student, he believes that this is an accurate stat.
Finding the difference between fake news and real news is of the utmost importance to our nation.
So how do you decipher fact from fiction?
There are a few ways to determine if a news story is fake or real. First, check the source. Check to see if well-known news outlets are talking about the story, such as NBC News, ABC News, or CNN. Next, fact check. Literally, the website factchecker.org gets paid to verify fake news stories.
Due to the concerns about the spread of fake news, Facebook and Google announced that they would combat fake news sites, restricting their ability to earn ad revenue.
There are some really easy things you can do to make sure that what you're reading is not fake news. You can check the date on a story, you can look at who wrote a story, what publication it was published by.
If you want to learn more tips on how to spot fake news, check out some of these articles from NPR, the New York Times, and the Washington Post to learn how to not fall for fake news. Matt McNamara, WVU News, Morgantown.
Animal cruelty. It's been making headlines lately, and it's not fake news. Last month, a Morgantown woman was arrested for starving one of her dogs to death. She had been neglecting nearly 50 animals, including 17 rabbits, 15 dogs, 6 guinea pigs, 9 birds, and 2 pigs. The Humane Society claims that intentional cruelty to animals is strongly correlated with other crimes, including violence against people. In West Virginia, cruelty or torture to animals comes with stiff penalties, including a fine of up to $5,000 and up to 15 years behind bars. Police urge the community to report any suspected animal abuse to authorities.
The numbers are staggering. Around 5 million people are currently on probation or parole, and experts say about 40% of them will be rearrested within 2 years of release. But a Sentencing Commission study shows that those with more education are less likely to return to a life of crime. Courtney Kramer joins us now from Studio B at the Media Innovation Center to tell us more. Courtney?
Thanks, Brianna. Overcrowded prisons have been a problem in West Virginia and surrounding states for years. In fact, the number of inmates in the Mountain State is about 900 people for every 100,000 residents. But as I discovered, one organization is working to rehabilitate these prisoners by educating them. The Appalachian Prison Book Project is a local nonprofit that sends free books to prisoners in the Appalachian region. And what began as a graduate course at WVU has now sent over 17,000 books to institutions in West Virginia, Maryland, Ohio, Kentucky, Virginia, and Tennessee. Their mission is to provide prisoners with a gateway to the outside world.
We are a chief link to the intellectual world for them. Their prison libraries are not populated by many titles, and they are very hungry for self-improvement and learning and an imaginative escape from the tough conditions they live in.
Volunteers respond to letters from prisoners by gathering books that match their individual requests, wrapping them up, and mailing them out free of charge. They respond to about 80 letters each week. The organization receives requests for a wide range of reading material, ranging from science fiction novels to self-help books. But they say their most requested title is by far the dictionary. And nearly 690,000 people walk out of prison each year, with several million more leaving local jails. Delia Trickett teaches re-entry classes to prisoners to help them avoid reoffending.
Being able to have an education while inside helps them to empower them. It gives them better knowledge of not just laws, but about what's out there.
The organization also holds a book club inside the men and women's federal prisons in Hazleton. If you're interested in volunteering for this project, training is offered at the Ohl Center every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Back to you at the Waterfront Studio.
Thank you, Courtney, for that report. Getting around a college campus may be a hassle for some.
And with the rise of apps like Uber and Lyft, one company is teaming up with universities across the country to give students easy access to affordable rides.
Tessa Iglesias joins us now from Social Square to tell us more. Tessa?
AAA reports that the average cost of owning your own car will run you around $10,000 per year. I found out about a smarter way to get around the city by simply using an app on your smartphone. Having a set of wheels to do everything from errands to job hunting or attending a wedding can easily be done by reserving a Zipcar through this app. And owners say the convenience of this service is why almost 1 million people around the world rent Zipcars.
I don't have to pay insurance, I don't have to pay gas or any sort of registration fee. I just get into the car and drive.
Zipcar is a car-sharing company that provides rental cars to members, billable by the hour or day. And WVU has now partnered with Zipcar. Director of Transportation and Parking, Clement Solomon, says Zipcars are a great alternative for students and faculty.
Take this car, go get your medicine, whatever else you need from either the grocery store or the convenience store. Bring it back, park it, and you're done.
So how popular is renting one of these Zip cars? Well, get this. Every 6 seconds, a Zip car is rented somewhere in the world. And it's not just about saving money, it's also good for the environment, because for every shared car, there are 15 less private cars on the highways. You can apply for a yearly Zip car membership on the app or online within minutes. Gas and insurance are free. Zip car users are provided a gas card in their rental to cover all fuel costs. So there is no need to worry about refilling the tank after renting. Zip cars are located on both the Evansdale and downtown campuses. Student memberships are $15 a year. If you'd also like to watch this story in 360 video, you can log on to our website. CJ and Brianna, back to you.
Thanks, Tessa. It's funny, I've seen those cars everywhere in Morgantown.
Actually, I have too. They must be popular. I would definitely try it.
Yeah, and as the weather warms up, that means baseball is here, and there are high expectations for WVU baseball in 2017.
Sports reporter Andrew Caridi tells us what to look forward to this season, coming up next.
I'm Andrew Caridi, and coming up on WVU News, I'll show you why fans are so excited about the upcoming WVU baseball season.
Ready to go?
Sometimes the most important lessons are learned outside the classroom.
Are we going the right way?
When you chase the unknown, take a risk, and push beyond your boundaries. That's when you discover who you really are. Every journey starts with a first. Let's go.
Coming off its best season since joining the Big 12, the WVU baseball team has the campus buzzing.
Sports reporter Andrew Caridi joins us now with more on the expectations for the team this year. Andrew?
Thanks, CJ and Brianna. You know, there's never been more anticipation and excitement heading into a WVU baseball season. A 30-6-win season saw West Virginia baseball gain massive notoriety and respect in one of the country's toughest leagues. Head coach Randy Mazey will be entering his 5th year leading the Mountaineers, and with the recruiting success he's had in the offseason, many are expecting this to be his best season and team yet. I took a look at this year's team for a preview of the 2017 season.
3-2 pitch, that ball's hammered.
After a trip to the Big 12 championship game to end the 2016 season, all eyes were drawn to the Mountaineers. Bolstered by the best recruiting class in program history, the squad now seeks to improve upon their best season since 2009.
Here's the throw, cut off!
As long as these guys stay motivated and locked in and focused and trying to eliminate all the distractions that you face here in Morgantown, then I think that we have a chance to have a pretty good club.
Don't let his modesty fool you. The Mountaineers were picked to finish 5th in the Big 12, their highest ever position in the conference preseason poll. With the 3rd best offense in the Big 12 last year remaining largely intact, opposing teams will have a handful to deal with, especially in Morgantown.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Home field advantage was a major reason for the Mountaineers' success last season. They finished 20-10 right here from Mon County Ballpark, including a massive 3-game sweep of national powerhouse and conference foe, Texas. Winning 17 of their final 21 games, including a 9-game home winning streak, the waves being made on the field made their way to campus.
You see more people now wearing WVU baseball gear, whether it's just t-shirts, whether it's a hat, or that you see more people at the game, which that buzz is always great.
We play an exciting brand of baseball. We're fun to watch. Our kids play really hard. The stadium is very fan-friendly, and I can't see why people wouldn't come out and watch this team play.
The Mountaineers will play at Mon County Ballpark 22 times this season. For ticket information, you can visit WVUgame.com. West Virginia will open the home portion of their season March 14th against Morehead State. Brianna and CJ, back to you.
Thanks, Andrew. We hope the team has a successful 125th year of WVU baseball. That's going to do it for this week's edition of WVU News. You can visit us online on our website.
You can also watch our shows on YouTube, and please follow us and our reporters on Twitter. I'm Brianna Parks.
And I'm CJ Harvey. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.